guys, so I'm back in Canada. I'm back at my apartment. I arrived on Friday at 5 a.m. I got the Thursday flight, but I got home, we landed in Toronto at like 1:30, and then I got home at like 5, yeah, and then I slept for 2 hours and I started cleaning. So I was on a repatriation flight. I can never say that word right, but I think I just said it right. Repatriation flight, I think that's how you say it. But anyway, I was on one of those flights that was sent by the government because that was the only way that we could leave the country. So basically, if you haven't watched my other videos, what happened was I went from Colombia to Peru, and then after 4 days of being in Peru, the borders got closed overnight. Didn't hear a thing about it until they were closed, but there was people that tried to get out when they got heard about it, and it was impossible because the airports and stuff were so crazy. So yeah, so I had been trying to get a flight out, and it was like really difficult because you get sent a code and you had to quickly try and book it, and I tried for 10 hours the first time to try and book a flight, but it didn't work out. So the next time I got sent a code, so sometimes there would just be ones for Lima, so I couldn't get on those flights, and then sometimes there would be like for Cusco, and obviously I'd try and get on those flights. The second code that I got sent, I immediately after I got the email, I got onto the website and quickly put in all my information, and this time I got further than I got with the first time. I got up to the part where I could put in my credit card information, but then an error came up. So once the error came up, I tried again and again, and then I tried my friend's credit card, and then I called my sister and quickly asked her for her credit card information. Then we called my friend and asked her for hers. So none of these cards were working, and we ended up trying 6 cards to try and get our flight, and all of them weren't working. So there was 6 tried, and I was like at the point where I didn't know what else to do, so we emailed the embassy, and we were just gonna wait for a reply from the embassy. But then my sister said, should I try Interact something? I don't know what it is, but anyway, I was like, I don't know what that is, but go ahead, it's worth a shot. So she tried that and it ended up working. Turns out it was like her husband's PayPal or something like that. So she actually booked the flights for us. And what happens is you book your flight from Lima to Toronto, and then they organize the other flight for you from Cusco to Lima. But once you get that, you have to quickly email them all your information so that they can set up the next flight for you. So that flight cost a little over $1,400, and I'll explain more about the costs and stuff later. But like in the end, I'm thankful that I got what I got, because there's like people that had to pay way more and were in worse situations. So yeah, that was $1,400 from Lima to there, but then from Cusco to Lima is another almost 300. I think it was like 270. So yeah, it was like quite pricey. Typically from Cusco to Toronto, so the whole entire thing is $500. So the day of the flight, okay, the night before or the day before something, they sent us the information where we need to meet, and there wasn't really taxis going. Everything was like kind of weird. So we had to walk from our place to the bus stop, which is about a 20-minute walk. Sorry, I'm like so Mexican. I'm like staring at these people walking by. I love people watching, like out the window. I see so much interesting stuff. But yeah, anyway, okay, let me get started with that whole process. So we had to meet at the bus station between 6 o'clock and 6:30 in the morning. We couldn't be late, and we couldn't be early because I think that'd screw things up, because the Germans had to meet there a little before. All right, almost there. So like I think it would get confusing. So started walking at 6 o'clock, and sat down on the bus at 6:28, so literally made it like exactly on time. But the bus ended up having to wait a little bit because there was people coming from a town over called Pisac. So yeah, it ended up working out fine. They they took us onto the bus and we sat down and waited there. We met somebody right away on the bus that we ended up like hanging out with the whole process. Um, so after they loaded us off in front of the airport, we had to wait in a line outside of the airport, outside of the gates. So we were waiting outside of the gates, and then eventually it took a really long time. But yeah, anyway, it wasn't a bad process at all. It was just like a lot of waiting around, but it was fine because you had like so many people to talk to and stuff. So ended up waiting there for a while, and then they came around and handed us all a paper. We had to fill out like checking that we didn't have any symptoms or anything like that of, the virus, and then eventually they started letting people through and we had to hand them the paper, and they checked everybody's temperature before you could even get onto the parking lot of the airport. Alright, so now we are waiting outside of the airport. We got in, they checked our temperature, and now here we are. So then we got onto the parking lot of the airport, and we were all in lines in the airport, and we were just chilling there with our bags and everything like that for a long time. And then they made us separate from our bags, and then they had a dog go through and, check, I guess, if we had anything. After that, we slowly, we were chilling in the parking lot for a really long time again. And then slowly they let certain groups into the airport, like a few people at a time, to like give our bags, and also, what else did we do there? Oh, it was like immigration, whatever. No, that was right before. No, yeah, it would just give our bags and put our other bags through security. So then after that, we finally got onto the flight. There was some more waiting around on the flight and stuff like that. But yeah, we were supposed to take off around 11:30, but we ended up leaving Cusco to fly to Lima around past 12. But it was fine because our next flight only left at 3:40, or it was supposed to. So then after that, we went, got to Lima. The flight was a little over an hour. So we got there like maybe 1:30 or something like that. And then we were going to get off the plane. They're like, no, just stay in your seat. We're going to have them come, check in on the plane so you guys don't have to leave. So then there was people that came in, and they wrote us the most official boarding pass I've ever seen. It was like literally a paper, and they wrote like Q4 and your last name and your seat number on it. Then I think we had to sign another paper there or something, like saying that we would pay for the flight, because like we didn't have to pay for that flight yet. We had to just give them basically credit card information, and our names and stuff, saying that we would pay for the flight after. It was like a promise to pay paper. So then after that, they're like, okay, so you see that plane right beside us? And we're like, yep. And they're like, that's your plane. So we're like, okay, cool. And then we could get off but they said they were going to take us there in a bus, even though it was like a few feet away. It was like not far. So we had to get off the plane into a bus and then sit and wait there for a while again. And then after the cleaners had cleaned the plane, they took us like right beside it and with the bus, and then they like whipped out these welcome home signs and all this, and then we could start boarding the plane. So it was like getting close to 3:30, and then we boarded the plane, and it was like time for takeoff, but we were still waiting for other planes to land and buses to get there. So it ended up taking really long, and we only ended up taking off at 5:10. So this whole process, like obviously there's nothing open to buy snacks, water, or anything. So they told us to bring tons of food and water, and we did, and they let us like go through with our water and everything like that. And then we get onto the plane, and then once we start going, they made an announcement that they were gonna come around once with food, and because like they didn't want to come around too often if they didn't have to. So they came around with 2 bags of snacks. So there was like a whole bunch of snacks in there. I wasn't expecting to get so much food, so I had so much food. Yeah, and then yeah, they came around with 2 bags of snacks, and then they came around with a little meal, and like they had lots of water, headphones that they gave us. I'll insert like footage of everything, or I'll just upload a different little video. I don't think it'll be long enough to upload another video, so maybe I'll just like throw the footage in. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so then after we took off, we had an 8-hour straight flight to Toronto, and it was quite long and not that comfy because like there were so many people, and like I had a person on both sides of me, and yeah, it was just like a huge jet. It was like for 400 people. Yeah, then after that, our 8-hour flight began. I literally just sat there the whole entire time eating snacks, and then I maybe got like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours of like a little bit of like on and off sleeping, because I was like so tired. But actually I don't even know if I actually slept on the flight. I don't know, maybe I dozed off like twice, but it was so uncomfortable I couldn't really. And then when we got closer, we had to fill out some extra papers, because of the virus and where we were staying, where we were quarantining, and all that kind of stuff. And so we finally landed in Toronto at 1:30, at like technically in the morning on Friday. And then my baggage took forever to get and everything. And then home. It was like, an hour and 45 minutes home about. And then, yeah. I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, but when I got home, I literally slept for 2 hours, and then I woke up and I started cleaning, doing laundry, things like that. Yeah, it like feels good to be home, and I'm gonna like do my spring cleaning during this time, during my quarantine, because I have like 2 weeks, and I have lots of friends and family that are bringing me food. One of my friends moved down the street, so she can like bring me groceries like pretty much whenever I want, because she's laid off now due to everything as well. And my parents are constantly coming by bringing me food, and yeah, my friends are like popping by to like deliver things, like, so it's like really nice. But yeah, during my time I'll just be cooking, cleaning, things like that, and I really like doing that, so it's like pretty good. Like, I don't really mind it at all. So at first I was like, man, that's insane. I'm paying like $1,800 to get home when typically it would have been $500, and my flight was for April 4th at first, like before it got canceled and everything got shut down. There were some people in way worse situations, like their government wasn't helping them out. So they had to get like a private jet, Australians, and it cost them $5,600 for a normal flight. And then some people had to use business class because obviously there wasn't enough room, and that cost $11,000. So after I heard that, I was like, whoa. And the one Australian guy that was staying in the complex that I was, he like couldn't even get it because he was like a little too late, and then it was full or something. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And once the Australians get back, they have to quarantine for 2 weeks in a hotel, and then he would have had to drive 4 to 5 days and then quarantine again. So yeah, it's like really insane, like all this stuff, but yeah. Also, I don't think France's government was helping them out either. So yeah, because there was like a French girl stuck there. I think actually they were just finally starting to get flights, but it was a really crazy experience to be part of, and in the end I'm glad I could come home now, because otherwise I would be stuck there maybe till June or something, because like who knows like when the borders and airports and everything will open back up. Anyway, I think that's all that I wanted to update you guys on. Hope you guys are doing good and like not going crazy if you guys are in quarantine or whatever. Actually, I think everybody is supposed to be in quarantine right now, like pretty much. So yeah, I'm excited to even just be able to get out and do my own grocery shopping, because I love grocery shopping, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, what else is gonna... Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!